Look, I think K-drama hits the absolute bar when it comes to making romances, and I'm gonna clue you why in this video. Why I say this is because many of the problems why I see, even if it's just Western world K-drama or just something like that, is the focus of the K-drama of the romance, right? I've talked about this on YouTube. You may know my face. When it comes to K-drama, my face, you may know me. But what I love so much about K-dramas is they don't let the love be the most purposeful thing in watching the show. They don't hit the mark all the time. I'm gonna talk about it. That's Love Next Door. That's the Love Next Door guys on video. Because Love Next Door, oh my gosh, whoever made the show, send me their address. Okay, no, but yeah, and the show is specifically like it's called. I need to remember the name. Remember the name. Remember the name. Remember the name. Queen of Tears. Queen of Tears. The Tears of Queen. The Queen of Tears. Queen of Tears did it so well because I think with the start of the show, especially with it hits you with such a weird thing. Because I remember I tried to watch the Queen of Tears twice. And the first time I watched it, I didn't get past first 15 minutes. And if you watch the show fully, you would understand why it makes sense I didn't get past first 15 minutes. Because first 15 minutes is like, they're displaying a fake love. I'm going to break you down kind of in the plot. So they have this fake love, the two characters, and then after that, you realize their love was nothing for show. They did once have love because, of course, they're married and whatnot, but it's more like a business arrangement because they got married, and of course, the woman, the female lead, is in a really rich family, one of the big mega heads in Korea, and of course, a divorce will never look good. They just can't get divorces, and as soon as it cuts from like 15 minute arc, I'll say, or 20-minute arc, literally, you can see their love was nothing but a facade. What we learn later in the story that she has a tumor. She has a brain tumor that will make her forget stuff and everything in the future. There's also other plots like like there's another side of this that she had a secret person she was with like a long time ago. It wasn't someone she cheated with, but she just had a past relationship, and this person's really evil, this person's really toxic. I don't want to go too much into that because I don't want to spoil it, especially if this entices you to go and watch it. But like, there was so much going on. There was like law involved. There was a whole revenge storyline. There was a whole basically like potential death storyline, and then of course the original romance storyline. And not even just that, it's also the elements of rich people engulfing themselves in a quote unquote poor poverty environment that made it so good. And that's why when anyone ever asks me, if you was to ask me in the comments, I want to get into K-drama romance, what should I watch? It will always be Queen of Tears. And it's just amazing. And I think a lot where other K-dramas did hit the mark is because it's too focused on the romance. It's either I see a lot in American shows, they give you the romance too quick, and then there's no giveaway. There's no thing that you're waiting for. You know what I mean? There's no layoff. There's nothing that you're truly earning for in that whole interaction. A show like Another Romance that was really good, and they was able to proper give you the layoff of them finally getting together, was Business Proposal. They did that amazingly, but Business Proposal was different because Business Proposal, the main plot line was the love. So talk about different times. You see, even I say don't do it, some shows can do it right. They can. But yeah, going back to Queen of Tears, and wow, so amazing because there was like around 2 times that they were so close to getting to the I love you. They were getting so close to really cementing the relationship, and then something messed up. And of course, one of the times it was related to her sickness, the other times it was related to another factor, and it just gave such a massive, it's like, just do that. What, like, how you get a good romance is by making the fans, the viewers, the watchers angry. You know what I'm trying to say? But not too angry. And this is why I get onto Mr. Plankton. Mr. Plankton is another romance K-drama that I absolutely despise. And I think the fact that I despise it makes it a good story, but I do think it's not as good. Because, of course, I'm always going to say, whenever we do this, it's always going to be Super or BASURA. And Queen of Tears is super. It's a super show, and I recommend it to everybody who's thinking about watching a K-drama. But Queen of Tears executes it amazingly. Just K-drama in general. I think there are so many scenes where it is like literally heart crushing, and then there's so many scenes that's so rageful where you just want to break something in love and in happiness. And it's so cool because the way they 16 episodes, the way they're able to control your emotion, them 16 episodes, due to the writing, the pacing, the acting, is truly a masterpiece. It's truly a masterpiece. Of course, I know there was a bit of controversy that happened with the male actor, but of course, from what I know from studying up and on TikTok and everything, it definitely seems like it's a bit of a weird situation that we don't know necessarily truly what's happened. But until we know fully what's happened, if he actually did it or not, I'd say until then, definitely give it a watch, because once if it was him who did that, if he did all of that, I'm not recommending that for you. You can go watch something else. But yeah, on the ranking, super. We're starting on an amazing, of course, starting off this whole new series. We have to start with one of the peaks. One of my favorite romance K-dramas, and that is flipping Tears of Queen of flipping tears. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Who was my favorite character? 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 Who was my favorite? I don't know. I didn't really have one. I didn't have one. I didn't really have one. No, to be honest, I did really like the female lead a lot. I think her acting was good, and I think it was, yes, what made the acting so well is, especially as a character starts off really monotone, really nonchalant, really emotionless, and towards the end of the series she becomes fully embracing her emotions, a caring person, a chalant, as I may say, made better. And the way she changed was so well. But not even in that, because everyone can change from yo, what's going on to yo, what's going on, welcome to the stream, you know what I'm trying to say? But the way I just went from yo to yo, it's not convincing, right? That's not convincing to you. Who the flip is that guy? And he doesn't look flipping wrong. But she was able to convince us that change was natural, that change was it was worth it. It was everything was worth those 16 episodes and whatnot. And I think what was so cool about the show is that she ended up dying anyway. And let me just spoiler, sorry, spoiler exclaim. I'm gonna spoil. Oh my gosh, okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm gonna spoil. I almost bloody kill myself there. But yeah, I'm gonna spoil what happened at the end. And of course, the whole point of the show is that, like, once they get to the point that they're gonna start try loving each other, she's of course going to die. He finds out that she is going to die, so him and his best friend have the plan for him to fake his love, so they get more close, gets in the wall, she's emmed her off, he's got the full bill. Do you know what I mean? He inherits all the money, but then he actually falls in love, and then she figures out, so now it's just a whole conundrum, because like, why do you have to do that? And then they figure out, or they go over it and they get back together. And then at the end of the story, she doesn't die, by the way, but at the end of the story, you realize when he grows old, it's just him at the tombstone, and of course they got children and everything. But I think it's so sad, because I think it just shows the beauty of life, and like the beauty of a relationship and love, that even though she died, I do think he loved her the same as he did before. And like that love is not forever, you know, like a human is not forever, but it's better to give your all while that person's alive. And I think in the 3 times where he technically lost her, the one time when she died, the second time when she lost all her memory, you can say theoretically he felt that loss again, and then again. I feel like he truly learned how to give his all to this person he loves, this all to this person he desires and he wants. And I think it's such a core story, Of course, it's one of the stories where you don't feel like you've been robbed of your emotions. There's a good payoff, and even though she does die at the end, it's like, okay, she lived the rest of her life with him. And I think it's really nice, especially I believe during the whole 6 episodes, I believe one of her dreams, she said, is that she wants to live the rest of her life with him. And I think it's always sad in those stories when you look at, you know, an older person where someone else dies, is that only one of them can ever live the rest of their lives with the other, unless, you know, they both die in the same instance. I think it's really sad. And it's what made it really good. Other K-dramas though, they said, you know what, I'm going to take this emotion right here. Give me this one. Okay, so let me put them out down. Let me balance it like this. Okay, and I'm going to give you this one, and I'm going to smash it. That's what they basically said. Okay, and we're going to talk about them. But until then, Queen of Tears is super, and I'm just a black man in the chair.
I don't really care about what you show me. Chasing, tell me why you chase me when I'm touring. Relaxing with me while we we kick it in the forest. Still texting, phone on DND or what you call it. All of the bitches is fake. It's probably might need me a break. No need to say what you take. No reason to call.